This week in Women in Sports, Grandma's Marathon has wrapped up its 50th race. The incredible accomplishment from this year's winner and hometown hero. Then, this Lynx rookie may deserve her own parade someday. A look at what's driving the hype around hoop star Olivia Miles. Plus, some of the top women's golfers in the world are in town. Meet the woman bringing the pros to Hazeltine.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amelia Santaniello. Here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share news stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. Today, we're going to start with a little bit of history. This week marks the anniversary of Title IX being signed into law. In 1972, President Richard Nixon signed an education bill into law that included Title IX. The civil rights law prohibits the discrimination on the basis of sex in educational programs funded by the federal government. Title IX would serve as a mechanism to handle sexual assault and harassment on college campuses and revolutionize women's sports in America. Grandma's Marathon held its 50th race last Saturday, and it is becoming a dynasty for Minnesota distance runner Dakotah Popehn in Duluth. She won her third Grandma's Marathon on Saturday. The St. Francis native crossed the finish line in 2 hours and 28 minutes, 45 seconds clear of second place. She became the third women's runner to win Grandma's 3 times. The 2024 Olympian has now won this race every time she's entered it.
I would rather be here than anywhere on the planet, and to be a winner is obviously amazing. But at mile 24, so many people were cheering my name, and the entire course, everybody was cheering for me, and it kind of just dawned on me, how can I lose when the entire city of Duluth is rooting for me?
This week, downtown Minneapolis was busy with a massive volleyball tournament. The annual event was held at the Minneapolis Convention Center and attracted more than 492 girls volleyball teams from across the country. The players were high school age and they played for 4 days. The team who traveled the farthest was from Hawaii, so for some, even summer in Minnesota feels a little bit chilly.
Does it feel cold to you here?
Feels really cool. I'm not even a player and I feel so
It feels
excited.
cold in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You get used to it after a while.
A small community in Minnesota is coming together for one of their own as he faces a difficult journey ahead. A 5-year-old boy saved his younger brother's life, but he fell into an icy creek in the process. This happened in Greenway, Minnesota, which is about a half-hour south of Hibbing. His name is Ash Khan, and he is fighting for his own life in a pediatric intensive care unit after needing surgery on his internal organs. Now, the moms from his Mighty Mites hockey team are coming together to support his family. They teamed up with a local clothing line to print out T-shirts with the saying, "Stick together for Ash." Pressing, printing, and shipping, all done by hockey moms.
Everybody in the state of Minnesota can kind of relate to a hockey community rallying around one of their own.
Even though the population of Greenway is less than 2,000 people, the moms say they've already sold more than a third of that in shirts. Here in the Twin Cities, massive crowds moved through Huntington Bank Stadium for the Special Olympics opening ceremony this week. The energy and joy were palpable. 75,000 fans are expected this week, and 3,000 competitors from all across the United States are right here in Minnesota competing in 16 different sports. Molly Gatton with Special Olympics USA tells us why it's such a special event.
Some of my favorites, the most high energy ones from years past, powerlifting, swimming and athletics are so fun and exciting, and that's not diminishing any of the other sports. Like I said, you are going to see joy in its purest form this week. It's so different than any other sporting event you've ever been to, and it will be a blast. We have something for everyone.
The Gopher women's basketball team is already back in the gym this summer. They are, of course, coming off that trip to the Sweet 16 this March, and without one of the key cogs of the team. We are talking about Amaya Battle, who graduated and is preparing to start her pro career overseas. Leah Harmon is projected to take over Battle's starting point guard position. The 5'6" junior is a transfer from UCF, where she averaged 16 points in 20 games before going down with a season-ending injury. Now the remaining core is trying to integrate the newbies.
Just being listeners and learning from the coaches and learning from us who have been here. And they're just all been so open. I think everybody's kind of coming out of their shell already, which is a good sign. So hopefully we make them feel comfortable enough to be themselves. But that's really what we want from everyone, is just to come in, be confident, be themselves. And I think we try to reinforce that every single day with each player.
Lynx star Olivia Miles set a rookie record this week. In her game against the Sparks, she scored 24 points in the first half alone on her way to a career high of 31. It is easy to see why she is a talk of the WNBA, and she makes it look easy. Photojournalists Joe Van Ryn and Jeff Wagner talked with fans about the hype.
Since the Lynx selected her second overall, Olivia Miles has taken the league by storm.
You could just sense that something's different about her.
It's the hair, it's the goggles, it's the swag.
After another historic night Wednesday, the buzz around the rising star is hard to miss.
And I think Miles is making all of the other Lynx players even better, and they're making her better too, so it's a cool relationship to watch.
She's averaging 19 points per game, nearly 6 assists, and shooting nearly 40% from beyond the arc.
And she's a walking highlight reel. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get each night.
Got a great dish. She's got really great eyes on the court. She can do a great no-look pass. She's got great sense of where her teammates are on the court.
I think she's going to be the MVP.
Minneapolis artist Adam Johnson has built a following through his Wolves and Lynx paintings, even catching the attention of the players themselves. Now he's helping spread the excitement surrounding the team's newest star.
It's a way to just show pride in the teams we have.
And it didn't take long.
I was after game one.
For him to start working on these.
I spray paint and then I do other colors on top of it, and the paints kind of blend together. But she's already like a leader, right? She's playing like a vet. She has the attitude of a vet.
And many of his prints he simply gives away for free.
The goal is just to connect with people, to connect with fans, be excited about things that are fun, and just share the art.
Share and celebrate what feels like the start of something special.
It's exciting to have another young talent in the state that we can all get behind, you know.
With photojournalist Joe Van Ryn, Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
The Lynx are back on top of the WNBA standings, just a game and a half clear of second place Las Vegas right now. But they were tested by Golden State. Following her career high scoring game, Olivia Miles went just 1 for 10 against the Valkyries, scoring just 7 points, and that was the first time in her career she has been held to a single digit. But it can't all be dominance for the rookie. Still, she found a way to make an impact late, despite the best defensive effort against her to date.
What she saw was actual defense. She saw physicality. She saw aggressive trapping. You know, they play hard and they fly around and they protect the paint. And, you know, I mean, Liv kind of, I really appreciate, you know, like she needed a game like this. This was a tremendous great point for her.
And the Lynx managed to pull off a win. That is thanks in large part to Courtney Williams. Williams went for 21 points and 12 rebounds, including some huge baskets to give the Lynx the lead. She has an attitude and plays it up for the road fans, feeding off the hostile energy.
Yeah, I can't speak for the whole team because the whole team ain't villains, man. These are some nice girls. These are some nice girls, but whatever title folks want to give us, you know, we're going to take away some pride. We're going to do what we do. As long as we keep getting these W's, everything good. Call it what you want.
And now to the rink, where the Frost re-signed 6 more players from last year's roster this past week. Next year's team is close to its full form, which includes first-round draft pick Sara Swiderski. Because they lost 2 key defenders, Minnesota shored up that position with the 9th overall pick. Swiderski spent 2 years at powerhouse Ohio State and brings a welcome physicality to the Frost.
Yeah, I think this year I started to really be able to produce offensively. And I think that's something that I want to continue to grow. I mean, obviously here at the Frost, there's such great players surrounded by me. So I think that's just going to happen naturally, but that aspect for sure.
This offseason in the PWHL has been a confusing and extremely complicated ordeal with the integration of 4 new teams. The Frost's top priority when it came to protecting players from being plucked away was Kelly Pannek. The Plymouth, Minnesota native signed a 3-year contract to stay in her home state. This past week, she won the PWHL Forward of the Year award after leading the league in goals and points. She wanted to be here and is one of the cornerstones of this roster.
I'm really proud of the work we've done to get to this point and being a part of it and seeing not just the growth of the league as a whole, but the growth in the fan base and the support that we get here. And I'm really proud to represent Minnesota and all the different stages of Minnesota hockey. And I think it's just such a special place to grow up being a hockey player. And I think we do things differently, and we do it the best way. So it's something, again, I shared with them that I really love what we've built, and I want to keep continuing to build it here.
Some of the best golfers in the world are in Minnesota right now. This week, Hazeltine and Chaska is hosting the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield sat down with the woman who's making it all happen.
This is a passion.
Oh, just burned it by.
That started when Greta was around her daughter's age.
There you go. What do you remember that you were like, I like this?
I liked spending time with my dad. I just remember spending time with him. I loved going. I don't know why. It was just fun.
Greta says her dad made a concerted effort to take her to women's pro events.
Bringing me to the 2004 Solheim Cup, which is basically the women's equivalent of the Ryder Cup. It was at Interlaken. The women are so personable and kind that they will greet you on the tee box. They almost let my sister walk out on the tee box with them.
Now she's bringing that same hospitality to an LPGA event at her home course, Hazeltine in Chaska.
What do you wish more people understood about women's professional golf?
And the men have so much exposure to their story and, their parents being PGA professionals and their dad taught them how to golf and then they went on to professional golf. The women have the same stories. They aren't told as much.
What is so beautiful about women's golf games and streaks on the course at this high level?
The accuracy is incredible. I think the women are more impressive in that regard because they don't have that distance factor where the men can just bomb it and then they have a really short shot into the green.
Do you ever see men kind of look at the women like, whoa?
Yeah. They're surprised. They're always surprised and delighted. And they're like, they're really, really good. And I'm like, yeah, they're professionals. They would beat you badly.
It's a reaction she wants to amplify. So the Optum executive and mom to 3 is chairing the KPMGA Women's LPGA Championship on the same course where the Ryder Cup has been played.
Hazel, I think our state is just a little golf crazy in general in a good way. So I feel like every time the women show up, there's a great turnout. And I fully anticipate that to be the case this June as well. We had the attendance record in 2019 for bodies on property at a women's PGA championship. I expect us and hope we surpass that this year.
With the Lynx, with the Frost now, Minnesota is known for supporting women's sports.
Yes.
And I'm guessing you're wanting to feel that here.
Yes, I want to feel that here. There's definitely an elevated level of support for women's sports in this state, and I know we'll show up for the women golfers out here.
And if history repeats itself, she'll have a great shot.
I just think it sets women up and girls up for just a whole nother level of success when they say yes to golf.
With photojournalist Will Greiner, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO Sports.
There's also a Minnesotan who has the first tee time of the tournament. Ren Clayton introduces us to Kate Smith-Stroh as she swings into action.
It feels just kind of like a celebration for my family and friends, and it's about performance and playing well, but I feel like this week's more like trying to thank the people that got me here.
Kate Smith-Stroh is home. Growing up and throughout her junior career, she's acquired her fair share of experience at Hazeltine.
It's nice to come back and be a little more familiar with the thick rough and the fast greens that Hazeltine brings. So I'll definitely rely on some of the familiarity to help in those big moments this week.
Last year was Smith-Stroh's first full season on the LPGA. She had one top 10, but missed more cuts than she made.
I've handled a lot of hard moments in the last year, and this feels kind of like this opportunity feels like a good moment, and I hope to meet the moment.
From Detroit Lakes to the University of Nebraska, and now a major championship. Not many from Minnesota make it. She's proof it can be done.
When I was here last time, I watched Sarah Burnham. I think she was our last LPGA member from Minnesota, and that was special to be like, okay, she did it. It's really special, and I hope that, you know, other girls can see that, you know, if you're from the Midwest, there's opportunities for you.
Nelly Korda will garner the biggest crowds during this LPGA tour. Ren Clayton brings us another report, this time on the #1 player in the world.
The undisputed favorite at this week's Women's PGA Championship is Nelly Korda. How could she not be? She's already won the first 2 majors of this season, which would make a win here at Hazeltine National in Chaska a historic thing.
I'm just out here trying to play golf, for sure. I think I have a very in the moment mindset this year, which I'm just trying to take towards the end of the year.
When the KPMG Women's PGA Championship was last at Hazeltine in 2019, Korda came close, finishing tied for 3rd. She can employ the same plan this time around.
And it is a very much so placement golf course on the fairway and on the greens, so hopefully every part of my game is in tip-top shape.
Korda's game has been better than anyone's in recent years. The question this week is the momentum still going, and can she capture major number 5 and make it 3 in a row?
I've just told myself if I am lifting the trophy, like that is obviously the main goal at the end of the week, but I'm going to prepare, or I'm going to focus on my preparation and know that I'm 100% confident in it and lean on that.
At Hazeltine, Ren Clayton, WCCO Sports.
Tickets to watch are still available and start at $45. Organizers are encouraging people to bring their entire family. Kids 15 and under get in free with an adult. You can go to KPMG Women's PGA Championship.com, and that tournament runs through Sunday. Thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. I'm Amelia Santaniello, and we will be back with more great stories next week.